All right, just wanted to share a couple of updates with regards to the job market. Uh, as you know, I'm involved in the job market because, always employers, they get in touch with me. Do you have a resume for this or that category? If I have, I forward. If I don't have, I tell them I don't. And then there are those people who pay me money to say, give a shout out in your groups. And yes, finally, there are those people who say, Loy, this is a little donation to your channel for the work that you're doing. So I appreciate. They don't offer much, but whatever they offer, I'm gracious. And then there are those who are kind enough to say, whatever it is you're doing, I watch your videos. Here's a payment from my side, just to support your cause. So, it's a mix of many things. Sharing information, entertainment, community service. It's all part and parcel of being a brand online. You can't just be a brand and only market your services. Then there's no different from you and one restaurant to another. You can go to any restaurant. It's not just the quality of service. You need to go that extra mile and offer something that will make people like you genuinely. So that is why I do these public service activities which involve asking people, okay, I have around job vacancies, just send me a CV, and I forward the exact CV the way that people have sent it. But see, here's the thing, that people have to, I don't know why people can't seem to understand this. When the market changes, your value or your value changes, okay? Or the remuneration or the package that you get doesn't remain the same. Let's say, for example, during the boom period, when the market is really good, they offer very high salaries, they offer very high incentives, they offer, literally there are jobs, there's a galore of jobs, left, right and center, okay? Like right now, I keep telling people the jobs advertised on, on LinkedIn, Naukri.com, Nadias.com, Monster.com. These are all fake, okay? Nobody is going to pay a big chunk of money to advertise jobs when you can do it for free online, okay? Through local papers, classifieds are for free. So nobody is stupid enough to pay these recruitment agencies a shitload of money when you can advertise and get easily resumes. So now, what people need to understand is, if you apply to these recruitment websites, it's a waste of time. But if you apply to actual jobs, which are like on LinkedIn, the official company page, let's say Nestle or Microsoft or Google, the official page, and they advertise there, and the email directly goes to like @Microsoft.com, Nestle.com, or the LinkedIn is the official business page and the official person is speaking to you or communicating with you, fine, that's valid. Otherwise, there are people like me who are intermediaries, and then obviously there also you have to be careful. If someone has something at gmail.com, hotmail.com, yahoo.com, those are people who, they are not legit, most of them, because they like to exploit people or take advantage or market. They'll harvest your data. Basically, they will sell your data to somebody who has a website where they're looking at authentic emails. They get paid per valid email address. And your CVs, there are many people who like to collect CVs to market their resume services, like rewriting CVs by copy paste. Okay. So now, the main thing that I have realized, which people don't seem to understand, is, see, there is the market value, what the market is prepared to offer you, and then there is perceived value, what you believe you're worth. And the difference between both will result in either you getting the job or not getting the job. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, your perceived value. You are working in Nestle. Example, I'm just giving an example. Or you can take Panasonic or Sony or Harley Davidson or Emaar or Reliance. Name any company. You're working as a finance controller. You are getting, say, $20,000. Okay, a finance controller, or $15,000. Now that is your actual current value that the company is giving you. This was a contract that you got, and you're making money during that particular period of time. Now your perceived value is what you believe you're worth. See, you're getting $15,000 or $20,000. By default, people generally believe they want a 10% or 20% increase. Normally they would go for 20%, hopefully. So if you're earning 15, you would aim for 17. If you're earning 20, you would aim for 22.5. Some people would aim for 25. They would be a little bit more ambitious. So it doesn't matter. Everyone has their own perceived value. And then they go out, all out, to go get that package. But now here's the challenge. Here's the problem. Whatever is your perceived value, always remember, one is the company has a budget. It need not be the budget that they are offering, but at the same time, they have options. This is what I think people don't consider. You're competing with others for the same seat, and this is a monthly income. So let's say, for example, you're asking from $20,000, you're asking $25,000 a month. Okay. Now there's another guy or a man or woman who was getting maybe 18 and is hoping to get 20. Maybe they are doing the same job that you're doing. Maybe they are doing exactly what you're doing and more. So when the company calls these people for the interview, they have Mr. A wants 20, B wants 25, C wants 30, D wants 18, F wants or E wants 16. So they get various salary expectations. So now who do you think the company will choose? The company will generally choose someone who ticks all the boxes and then offers them extra boxes to tick. Okay? And then they will see what is the cost. Generally, they don't go for the cheapest and they don't go for the highest. This is my experience. The normal thing is, let's say in this example that I gave you, 16 is the lowest, $30,000 a month is the highest. From 16 to 30, they will look at, okay, the middle ground is 20. See, 20 to 25 range. So now in the 20 to 25 range, they'd be comfortable for the budget. I'm not saying they selected the candidate. Now there can be a possibility that a $16,000 candidate may get offered 18. Even though at the interview the person said, I just want 16. Maybe they'll offer 16.5 and say in 1 year we'll increase to 17. So it all depends. But now after they've decided the middle budget, the middle ground, then they will see how many boxes do you tick. Based on how many boxes you tick, they're going to decide. Now, by default, people generally put lots of stuff, fluffy stuff, flowery stuff. People like to say, I'm doing everything. I'm doing budgeting, I'm doing P&L, I'm doing balance sheet, I'm doing auditing. Generally, what a finance controller does is standard. The only difference being in a multinational company, maybe it's a bit more complex and they have certain standards. And maybe the local company, depending on the size, you either do more or you do less. But in most cases, people who work in not multinationals, multinationals follow a typical process and procedure. People who work in national companies, they tend to do multiplicity of tasks. They do more number of hours. Why? Because, rules are not clearly defined. So now, you're left with, let's say, 2 or 3 candidates. One candidate does 10 things very good. One does 15 things very good. One does 13 things very good. So 10, 13, 15. So now comes the choice. Which one should you take? Should you take the guy who does 15 things very good? Should you take the guy who does 10 things? The final choice will come down to the company. What is important to the company? If the company has 5 really very important things, they will see which among those 3 does those 5, all 5 very well. Who has the maximum experience, maximum expertise. And then the final bit where they will select is, which person do they like? This is where the emotional factor comes in. Which person do they like? Which person do they feel will stay with them for longer? Whom they feel will blend into the corporate culture? And last if not the least is, who will be worth investing in? Because when you select a new person, you have to invest time, effort, money, energy into getting the person part of your corporate culture. And every culture is different. Like in banks, ABN AMRO Bank has a different feel to it. Citibank has a different feel to it. Barclays has a different feel to it. HSBC has a different feel. You can go to Yes Bank or any Indian bank, Bank of Baroda. You can go to a Chinese bank, a different. So every company has a different culture. Now, these are all the factors that come into play. The last, the biggest decisive factor, yes, is the person who qualifies with the experience. But likability comes a long way off. Remember, we human beings, we make decisions based on our feelings. So likability is very important. Why do you think in your office there are so many people who kiss ass and they stay for a long time and they have good positions of power? We like people who kiss our ass. That's a fact. We're looking at the yes men. Yes, there are CEOs who like rebels, who like the daring and difficult ones. But those are very few. Very, very few. You need to have a lot of maturity, a lot of wisdom, a lot of self-control to handle such people. Now, what has happened is, with all these jobs that I've been advertising, the types of people who are applying, okay, there are good ones. Not everyone's bad. But the rest of them, I don't seem to understand. Are you using your common sense or are you stupid? Like there are people who have literally not even, there's no covering letter, nothing. They just forwarded their CV. There are some others who have literally sent, when you forward a document, the arrow comes, in the email it shows arrow. That means it's forwarded once. 2 arrows means forwarded twice. There are people who have forwarded like 7 arrows or 8 arrows. Means you're just busy forwarding this to, I don't know, never-ending number of people. And then there are people who, you can clearly make out these covering letters are copy-paste. You can clearly make out that these CVs are copy-paste. Man, I've been in the industry so long, it's so easy. I can spot in seconds. I can challenge you. I can spot in seconds and tell you if this CV is copied, whether the person is just been lazy and just dumped all the information. It's seconds it takes me. It's like, for example, your line of work. If you have been many years in your line of work, you can make out if the person is an amateur or professional. Like, for example, a car mechanic or a IT professional, IT guy. He can make out in seconds whether you know your job or not. It's like someone who has been 10 years working. He can make out a college student is good at his job or not. So I've been so involved in this, refining my skills, studying, learning, making money out of it. It's very hard. It's like a chef who has been cooking, cutting. He can just taste and know what is missing or what has put more. And that kind of expertise, it comes with years of experience, man. Yeah, I just don't understand when people will realize this. And listen, I've told you this before. You can't have one size CV fits all. Just as you can't have one outfit for all the different occasions. Wedding is one dress. Funeral is another dress. Partying is another dress. Children's party is different. Adults party is different. Morning, if you go, is different. Afternoon, if you go, is different. Evening, if you go, is different. Night, if you go, is different. A hot country is different. The dress code. Cold country is different. But if you have one size fits all for everything, what the fuck, yeah? And then people begin to wonder, oh shit, market is bad, oh shit, politics, oh, you can't get a job without Vasta and this and that. You're fucking lazy. You're just a whiner. You need, every job you need to customize your resume. The worst problem is, even these job vacancies that are there, they're just written by lazy copywriters, lazy people. They'll put, we are looking for a dynamic, focused, hardworking person who takes the job seriously, comes on time. What the fuck is all this, yeah? Adjectives like dynamic. How do you measure dynamic? How do you measure enterprising? How do you measure can get along with other people? What the fuck is should coordinate? Should assume responsibility? Why people don't assume responsibility? How do you measure? Do you assume responsibility? What shit? Instead of putting the technical stuff that is specific, yeah, we are looking for hardworking. And then these people are idiots. They'll copy the same on their CV. I'm hardworking. I'm dynamic. I'm result oriented. So you know, the main thing is, one is being, you know, you need to change based on market dynamics. That's important. And then remember, I told you about this perceived value. You can assume 20, 25. You can even hope for $100,000 a month, let's assume. Fine. But at the end of the day, the company has options. And the worst part is you do not know what options they have. You do not know who's your competitor. You do not know what rates they are asking. So whatever is your perceived value, it'll all depend whether you are the best candidate for them and you're coming at the best price. It's just like buying a smartphone. Let's assume, forget Apple and Samsung. Let's assume there are 20, 30 different brands whose names you have never heard of. And they all have more or less the same features. Some have more, some have less. And you have to choose and buy one based on, one is $100, one is $150, one is $200, one is $195, one is $162. You know, go to eBay or go to Amazon. Check you want a cable, or check you want a stand, or check you want a, let's say, some normal stuff like a key or a USB stick, or there's so many options, man. So you need to convince people why people should come to you. And this part people still don't seem to understand. When will you realize you need to be enterprising, creative, and you need to use a sales technique to sell yourself? Just copy pasting and slapping information on a document and expecting, oh, they are going to get impressed and give me a job. No, it's the getting a job is a job, and it's one of the hardest jobs because you have no room for mistakes. You make a mistake, you're finished, you're out of the race. So I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into the fact of how to get a job. Every job, you have to customize your CV. Not major changes, and please don't lie on something you cannot prove. Make sure that your job, what you have stated is what the company wants. For that, it takes a little bit of research. Make sure every letter is customized. Just as when you talk to different people, you have a different style of doing things. Take some effort. Put a little bit of effort. Who is the person you're sending it to? Why you're sending it to them? How you're sending? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Middle age? Junior? Multinational? Is it a local company? And have your personality in that document. Have your personality. Only then you'll succeed, man. Otherwise, you're going to have a long road ahead. Long road. And if you don't get a job and you're struggling, don't blame it on the fucking market. Don't blame it on, oh, market is bad, or recession, or depression, or politics. Yes, there'll always be tough times. There will always be recession. There will always be politics. But if you have to survive, you can't hold that as a crutch. You need to be a fighter. I can't say market is down and this and that. I need to survive. I need to sustain. I need to earn money. I can't give any excuse, and I can't focus on what I can't do. I should focus on what I can do. So I hope this gives you a little bit of common sense and insight into getting a job in whichever country. Please use this common sense approach and take the challenge of getting a job. Take it seriously. Don't do this lazy fuckhole approach and then blame, oh God, why this, that, and all that shit. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And yes, if you do have any job openings or this thing and you need me to advertise, feel free. I'll share it in my groups. And if you're searching for a job and you want me to forward it to whomsoever my contacts, I told you, people have paid. There have been some very selfless, generous people who have given money and said, Loy, help these people, forward it to whomsoever. It covers the cost. I just forward it exactly the way you send it. So just put the position in the subject line, covering letter, state your salary range, and when you can join. Give something where the person should feel, wow, this is different, this is new. Might want to try this person out. And hone your skills, how to sell yourself through Zoom, face-to-face interviews. Know what to say, how to say it. And I'll tell you, you will succeed if you do things right. Alright, I hope this video helps you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me sign off. You guys take care.